If you've been listening for a while, you know that the Ski Rex Media podcast likes to talk about the different products out there, especially the ones that are new, and even more especially the ones that you won't see every day because either they're new or they're rare. This might be a little bit of both. This week, a brand new product that you may or may not have heard of on the Ski Rex Media podcast. How you doing, everybody? Tim from Ski Rex Media here again, bringing you another brand new episode on the run to the season finale. That's right, we're getting into May. We're into May, and the season is just about over for everyone. Most places in the U.S. that are going to close down main operations, or their main operations, are getting into May, you know, as the final. You know, even around here, I think Killington's going to be open the latest per usual, and they're going to the 27th, I believe. The Superstar Glacier, rideable till the 27th. That's what they're attempting. And we've had some beautiful sunny days that have gotten kind of warm. It's a beautiful sunny day today. Not as warm, but it is sunny and the sun is shining. So will they be able to hold out? Who knows? If you're listening to this in the future after May, then you know, and I know, and we all know. But as for now, Killington will be the last survivor here in New England, which is pretty much their norm. I am Tim from Ski Rex Media, which I have said, and you probably know if you're a longtime fan and friend, and I thank you for listening yet again as we try to get to the end of Season 5. Here, you know, it's been a rough season for the Ski Rex Media podcast. A bunch of solo episodes, a bunch of missed days. It's been rough, but we're trying to get a good 4-episode run here at the end. And this is the first one or the second one, depending on how it turns out. Right now, as I look at the computer screen, it is the first of the final 4 for the first week in May, because I may be re-recording the episode with the teens and tweens. I started that last night with Charlotte, who was on there last year, and she came out and talked to me, but we might, you know, I have to reschedule for another one of the kids, Brooke, who's been on all the previous Teens and Tweens episodes. We all know Brooke from Instagram. Her father, Brian from Instagram, has been on the podcast before, and he will be on for the season finale podcast final. Yeah, that was a mess, wasn't it? And I'm going to leave that one in. He will be on the Ski Rex Media podcast finale coming up near the end of the month, which has also already been recorded. A whole bunch of us panel discussion like it usually is. It's a lot of fun. So we're recording here at Ski Rex Media HQ, trying to get these episodes out, get them done for you so you can hear all you want before that's new before the summer, and then you can re-listen to them all summer long while I'm on break. Now, the Ski Rex Media podcast may be going on summer break, but you know who isn't on summer break right now? Whaleback Mountain. That's right, my home mountain. You've heard me talk about them before a lot. You've seen my photos. You've seen my videos skiing there. It is a lot of fun. I love the mountain. I can't say enough about it during the winter, and as I always say, they have everything you want in a winter ski hill. You want easy, they got easy. You want challenging, they got challenging. You want snow-made groomers, they got that. You want all natural runs, they got that. They got trees, they can teach you how to do it. Terrain park, all kinds of fun stuff going on over there during the winter. Whaleback Mountain, ski it to believe it. But I also talk about Whaleback Mountain and what they have going on during the summer. They do have stuff going on during the summer. They are open and ready to go. What do they have going on? Well, they have their sand volleyball court, 2 nets, and I think a volleyball league will be going on yet again. Check out whaleback.com for more information, but you could go play some beach-style volleyball without a beach in sight. It's wonderful. Are you one of the friends and fans that likes to spend your time up on the side of the mountain playing disc golf? Whaleback is a disc golf course. This season, the whole course should be open, ready to go, ready for you to test out your disc throwing abilities, and you might see me up there doing that. Whaleback Mountain also has concerts throughout the summer. Coming up in June, I believe, Adam Ezra Group comes back for their three-peat performance, the most popular show at Whaleback with an amazing band. A lot of fun. I love it. I will be going for the three-peat. I will have the Adam Ezra hat trick at Whaleback Mountain. Not to mention the fact, if you need an event space during the summer, they have you covered there too. They can help you host your event if you need a place to do it. And what a cool place to do it. Not only does the mountain look good, it's always fun to be outside and on the mountain, but it's the most accessible ski hill I've ever seen. It is right off the interstate, exit 16 on I-89, north or south. It is right on the highway. You could spit out your window and hit a car's windshield in their parking lot, almost literally. It is that close. Check it out on Google Maps satellite map. Whaleback Mountain is awesome. It is year-round. They'll help you get your event done. They have a ton of their own events, camps, you name it, they got it, and they will help you out with all the information you need at whaleback.com, and of course Whaleback Mountain on the social media platforms. Search out Whaleback Mountain. You can follow them. They will post about their events as well as other things. Right. Whaleback Mountain, ski it to believe it. The Ski Rex Media podcast is also brought to you by Embrace Compression Leggings. That's right. You might know about Embrace if you are a longtime listener, fan, and friend of the Ski Rex Media podcast. I had the founder of Embrace, IMBRACE, the founder of Embrace, Jeff Hansen, on the program. I had four-time British Olympic ski team member, Olympian, mind you, Shemi Alcott, on the program talking about Embrace leggings because she helped design them. The Embrace Snow Sport legging was awesome. I rode it all season and my legs and back felt great from using them. Believe me, I went longer. I was able to go a little bit harder. Can't do anything for the cardio, but it can definitely do stuff for your knees, your hips, your lower back, and they are wonderful. Such a great piece of kit to have, such a great thing to wear. We're layering up anyway. Might as well have a great pair of snow sports leggings that have built-in knee support, built-in hip support, built-in back support, and plenty of other features in a fully compressed legging. It gives you that compression, that great feeling of having that little bit of squeeze on your legs. It's boot cut, so you don't have to shove anything down into your ski boots. It is wonderful. But we're all going on, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're all going on that summer break soon. You know, most of us will keep skiing in some way, shape, or form, whether we travel or not. So take your Embrace Snow Sports leggings with you. I'm sure they are allowed on the airplane. But if you're going to keep going, keep using your snow sports leggings. But if you're switching to jogging and running, switching to mountain biking, switching to hiking, Embrace still has you covered with the Embrace Dynamic Plus legging. All the same features, built-in support for your knees, your hips, your lower back. Wonderful piece of equipment to have. It just gives you a little bit more comfort, the support that we all like when we're doing sports. You know, that way we don't have to wrap up in knee braces and ace bandages or off-brand ace bandages, whatever it is. It's all built in a wonderfully well-made piece of kit. I highly recommend Embrace. I have the Snow Sports leggings and the Dynamic Plus leggings. I've used them both extensively, and they are wonderful, and I suggest you get them too. And I can help you get 10% off if you go to embrace.com. IMBRACE.com. The link is also in the description. You can get 10% off your order by using the code SKIREX10, SKIREX10. That's right, your friend Tim from Ski Rex Media is getting you 10% off your Embrace leggings, compression leggings for year-round. You could pick your winter, you could pick your summer, or you could pick both. It is completely up to you. Embrace, wonderful product, highly suggested. Check them out, embrace.com. Link in the description. Now, while the Ski Rex Media podcast is on summer break, I will not fully be on summer break. Personally, I will be doing other work in the summer like we all do when our season comes to an end. We move from working lifts to working other things. And for me, I'm going to be in a Technica warehouse not far from here, also in the Upper Valley. Technica, Nordica, Blizzard Skis. If you're into those companies and you're picking them up from your local shop, there's a good chance that I touch them. Oh yes. So I will be in and part of the Technica, Nordica, Blizzard, the Technica group, working in a warehouse. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's not a sponsored or branded or partner gig with Ski Rex Media. It's just Tim working in a warehouse because he hasn't in a while. I haven't in a while, and I'm kind of itching to get back in the warehouse. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But The Ski Rex Media podcast, however, will be on a break, but not Ski Rex Media itself will not totally be on a break. There'll still be some stuff going on. So make sure you keep an eye on Ski Rex Media social media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, even LinkedIn, Ski Rex Media. Put it in the search bar, really easy to find. Not hard at all. And I'll be keeping you updated on some of the stuff I'm doing for the off season, hiking, biking, waterfalls, whatever it is. Take a look at that content. Not to mention you can go back and listen to any episode of the podcast you missed or that you want to listen to again. Go to skirexmedia.com. You can sign up for the newsletter. You can also keep tabs on things that are going on with Ski Rex Media there, including the Ski Rex Media merch shop. I got to get a little bit more in there for the summer so we can all be ready to rock our Ski Rex Media merch in the fall and going into the winter. Also, you could go to Patreon. Patreon has a few things going on right now, mostly the ad-free version of this podcast. So if you listen to the version on Wednesday, there is an ad-free version that comes out early on Sunday. Tiers start at $1 on Patreon. Check that out. Maybe throw Ski Rex Media $1 a month. Get the podcast early, get it ad-free, and then we'll see what else we can get on there. I've tried to do a couple things on Patreon. I'm still trying to figure that out. So keep that in mind. Take a look at that. See how you feel about that. Not to mention, you can get in touch with Ski Rex Media throughout the year. It doesn't matter if we're skiing or not. Contact at Ski Rex Media is the email address. That link is in the description. You can also find that at skirexmedia.com. You can also go to SpeakPipe/SkiRexMedia, SpeakPipe.com/SkiRexMedia, and send Ski Rex Media a voicemail. You can do it completely anonymously. You can add your name so you get the shout out. I will answer it in some way, whether it be social media over the summer or on the podcast during the podcast season. Either way, questions, queries, concerns, comments, criticisms if you want. Wish your spouse a happy anniversary or your boyfriend or girlfriend a happy anniversary. Wish a friend a happy birthday. Wish somebody, if they cut you off on skis or snowboard and they made you fall and you want to cuss them out openly, hoping they'll hear it as a fan of the Ski Rex Media podcast, you could do that too. I'll work with it. Whatever you want. I love fan interaction. Go ahead and check out speakpipe.com/SkiRexMedia to leave me a voicemail, and we'll see where that goes too. Now then, we're talking to Devon Todd today. Now, Devon Todd, he's a founder. He does other things, but he's a founder of a product called Jerry Feet. Now, Jerry is a word we know in the snow sports world. I embrace Jerrydom. I love Jerry. He keeps me entertained. He or she keeps me entertained. Jerry, oddly enough, is gender neutral because it's more of a state of being. No, not a state of being. Not even a state of mind. A state of situation, maybe, is a good way to put it. A state of circumstance. That's what Jerry is. We all know that. And Devon Todd embraces Jerry with his product, Jerry Feet, because some people might even call it a Jerry thing, a Jerry product. This is what it is. Here's the gist. It's an adapter that will let you use your snowboard boots in standard ski bindings. A lot of people would say that's some Jerry stuff. I know some personally who will say that's some Jerry stuff. And Devon, he also says that's some Jerry stuff, so he embraces it, and that's kind of awesome. Not to mention the work they do with ski boards. They have a ski board partner. We're going to get into that too, which I found on Instagram. That's how I found Jerry Feet to begin with, was on Instagram. And you know me, I love ski boards, so I follow ski board stores and ski board pages and ski board manufacturers on Instagram as well. And I saw that they work together, and we'll get more into those people here in a bit. Actually, let's go ahead and get into the program now, the actual interview. Here it is, my friends, Devon Todd from Jerry Feet. Enjoy it, and I'll see you on the other end. Welcome, everybody. Another guest from north of the border. We've had some Canadians this year, and Canadians without Canadian accents, which is always a blast. And we'll talk about that too. Devon Todd, man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
Oh, I'm great, man. I am awesome. So, Devon, we'll start off easy, the same way I start them all off. Who are you, and what do you do?
So personally, without the Jerry Feet attached to it, so I'm Devon, an engineer up in Canada. My life began in South Africa, moved to New Zealand when I was 16. Didn't really get to touch too much snow over there. Saw an opportunity in Canada to potentially get onto the mountains. 2010, I moved out here, and I've been here ever since.
Awesome. Love it. So there you go, my friends. Yet another person, like I said, who is not Canadian and Canada, so they must be doing something right up there, up in the Canada,
Oh, it's
man.
the mountains, man. That's the mountains, I tell you. It brings everybody in.
Oh, I'm sure it does. It's awesome. In fact, almost everybody I talk to, except for the Quebecers, are from Alberta or British Columbia, which is where all the mountains are. One of these days, I got to get out there. I've been spitting distance from British Columbia. I've been to Seattle, my friends. I've been there.
You can almost tie that over.
Almost, and we should have gone, but we didn't. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I'm lazy and I won't go get I don't have the passport because I never go anywhere. I'm a boring person. And then those rules changed, and I haven't been to Canada in many years. But anyway, who cares about that? No one cares about that. They care about you. So an engineer, and I'm sure that had a part to play in this. The design of Jerry Feet. Jerry is a name we all know in snow sports. We all love Jerry, him or her. Jerry is not in. Jerry includes all. All is Jerry.
That is true.
That is true, and that's one of the things I like. When Devon and I were talking the other day on the phone, he embraces Jerry. I embrace Jerry. We love it, and it's so great. So Jerry Feet, something I ran into on Instagram quite by chance. Don't even really remember how I did it. I was scrolling through this, that, and the other. I see a guy on a pair of ski boards, and I realize his boots are snowboard boots, and I immediately rolled back. I was like, what am I looking at? And now we're here. So I'm sure, since it's your product, your design, you can explain it better than I can. Go for it.
I mean, plain and simple, you pointed it out. He had snowboard boots on his ski boards. Now, it kind of began where I had a friend of mine ask me, like, personally, I do snowboard. And a friend of mine, he snowboards and skis. But unfortunately, he can't ski for too long because he finds ski boots utterly uncomfortable.
Sure.
He's tried fitting them, doesn't really quite work. I mean, trying to find a good fitter, especially if your foot's slightly wider. He does have a slightly wide foot. And he just asked me one day, it's like, is there any way I can wear my snowboard boots on skis? And I gave it a bit of thought, and I realized all we have to do is basically mimic the bottom of a ski boot to clip in, because we didn't want to do a hard mount, because there are hard mount options there for sure.
Sure.
But we were more concerned about safety. Like, I mean, we want to be able to unclip, because not necessarily just ski boards, which is shorter, for skis, like longer skis. So I drew something up for him, 3D printed one for him. He tried it out on the ski hill, got a lot of looks, a lot of questions. People followed him up the hill to see this work. And fair enough. I mean, it worked. It did what he had to do. He could ride down the hill. It's a little bit of a different skiing technique because you're not leaning as forward on your shins as a skier should tell you always do, always lean forward. It's more of a straight up, more of a casual riding stance. And I mean, he's a big social media head. So he put it on TikTok. And this is where the story gets interesting. Within 3 weeks, we had 550,000 views. This thing blew up.
That's insane, dude.
So they thought, there's something here. It's not just for you, like, or for anyone, like a close friend. Like, this is actually, we might have hit something. So we played around with the design a little bit and realized the 3D printed ones, like, I mean, plastic doesn't do well, especially 3D printed in that cold temperature. Hot, cold, started cracking. So I was like, well, let's make it out of something more robust. And we machined them out of aluminum and took some out to the hill again, gave a couple of sets out, and people were just loving it. Had a couple of ski bums do it, a couple of lifties did it. And then we went to market with them, and it's been quite the success. We've had a good run with it. Season's obviously starting to die down. We've only just started this season. And we're looking to see what next season will bring for us. Ski boards, Superstore Skiboard Superstore, I suppose. They hit us up and they were quite happy to, promote this product. And we partnered up with them and they've been running with it too and had great success. It's been great.
Absolutely, man. And shout out to skiboards.com and the Skiboard Superstore, which is where I bought mine many, many moons ago. So if you guys are hearing the podcast, here I am. If you ever want to talk skiboarding, because I love mine. I love it. That now it's amazing. when you look at the product, and you can go to jerryfeet.com, spelled exactly as it sounds. Link will be in the description. You look at it. Now, you mentioned how it's built kind of in the shape of a snowboard boot. What it looks like, if you're looking at the bottom of this thing, it's a ski boot, I mean. But if you flip it over to the top, it's now a snowboard binding. Like, it's actually really kind of, I don't want to say it's simple because it isn't, but it's surprising that it's never been done before. If it's, how to put it without sounding insulting, because I'm definitely not trying to insult you.
No, you hit the nail on the head there, Tim. You really have.
Yeah, sure.
It's basic. It's a simple design. I mean, it's not the binding that we do. You can use your own binding, your own snowboard boot. Mm-hmm. This is just the adapter plate.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And the thing is, now you said it went viral, as the kids say these days. And like, what is it like to find out that there's a market for, like, this was just something that someone said, hey, can you do this? And you're like, yeah, I could do it. And now everybody's like, hey, can you do it for me too? That's making a market that wasn't there. This wasn't a market for this, and you created it in a way.
It totally, man. Like, I tell you, the first few questions and the people requesting, and obviously the sales, it does make you feel good about it, because we've had some interesting requests. We have obviously the people who are maybe, not the fittest. So strapping in, strapping out can be quite difficult. Sure. The older crowd. We've also had a few, let's say, there's a group called Adaptive Winter Sports that we've kind of been working with. And, that slight disabilities, and they weren't able to enjoy the snow as much as, as some of us would. Sure. And man, so like it sees to those needs. I've had a person recently here. His calves were, this guy was impressive. He had some calves on him. Sure. And he felt that, ski boots they couldn't fit, could not get a fitting one, regardless of how many fitters you went to. And he came across our product, and he said, like, because snowboard boots are way more forgiving and way more comfortable. And the sizes, like, you can fit to accommodate for a lot of different sizes. And those people are the ones that just, you see the result, like the feedback, the reviews, and they just absolutely love it. And it's good to hear that we've seen to those people. We're making everyone included into the sport, because as you and I both know, man, being out on the hill, there's nothing like it.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's amazing. Every type of hill. Actually, I just looked over. I have the Jerry Feet website going, and there's a video that's on repeat on the homepage, and there's some dune skiing in there, sand dune skiing, which some people I talk to still don't realize that exists. And I wanted to try it one time. I almost had the opportunity, but didn't have my gear. But I was in California where there's some dunes very similar to what's being skied there, and man, if I had my stuff, I'd have been tearing it up, but I probably would have gotten torn up in the process. Sand is unforgiving. So, you're not wrong. The difference between wearing a ski boot and wearing a snowboard boot it's two completely different worlds, in my opinion. Granted, a snowboard boot is also built for support, just like a ski boot, but it is a bit more forgiving, it's more like it's closer to a regular boot than a ski boot. So I could definitely see why people would want to switch back and forth, especially from a practical sense. I mean, I know plenty of people who ski and snowboard. How great would it be to just have, instead of buying 2 pairs of boots every single time, buy just one and be ready to go? Like, the practicality in a sport that's super expensive, like, that's wonderful. Now, was that part of the mission here, or was it just to see if you could do it? Okay.
I mean, there was that's the engineering background. It's like, oh, this sounds interesting. Let me try and tackle something like this. But as you saw the design, and as you mentioned, like, it's super simple. It's nothing to it. But it was the fact of, what, as you mentioned, it's expensive going out there, man. Like, hitting that, unless you're buying season pass, but even then season passes are getting more expensive. To be able to wear your one pair of boots, one less thing to buy, because you're buying so much other gear. Why not? Like, yeah, it just speaks for itself. And then it was we started thinking it wasn't solely just with the skiing and snowboarding. As I mentioned in the phone call last week, was we've had some requests regarding like snowmobile.
Yes.
So a few people doing backcountry in that they cannot, and they want to ski down, they cannot go on their ski boots. So they're packing different gear. And once again, one boot, everything you want to do.
Absolutely.
It's comfortable, it's warmer, it's more affordable than a ski boot.
And that's actually quite interesting, having, the idea of, the snowmobile or people who use the snowmobile to get into like a backcountry scenario or whatever it is. It's like, well, all right, you shouldn't drive with snowboard boots or ski boots. Don't do it. I did it once for 1 mile and it sucked. With my ski boots, I'll
Not
never do it
recommended.
again. Not recommended,
Please do
period.
not try this at home.
Exactly, man. I hated myself for doing it. You will never have as hard a time driving as you will in ski boots. It's dumb. Don't do it. But on a snowmobile, that's a whole different thing. It's not trying to work the clutch, the brake, and the gas and all this. But I could see why you'd want the difference. I could see that.
And totally, yeah. And I mean, just being able to, like when you're on the ski hill as well, like, I mean, how often are you literally going downhill? There's a lot of time you walking around,
Sure.
you standing there, shitting the shit,
Yeah.
going for lunch, going for a drink,
Yeah.
just being able to walk more freely in a boot that is just similar to a regular style boot. It's not.
Yeah.
It feels like nothing's there. And it was just those side little, let's say windows that we just thought, you know what, this is something that could be appealing to a lot of people. And now I have a lot of friends who are hardcore skiers, and they would look at this product and they've been, no, it doesn't work, can't do it. And I let them have a go, and they're like, oh, okay, not something I would personally get, but I see the appeal. Like people who have tried it, it's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, it definitely has. It's definitely appealing. Now, for me personally, I like everything different. And I'm never going to say one is better than the other. I don't do that. It's not about best. Best is subjective, so who really cares?
Precisely.
But different, like I love to do different things. I mean, that's why people do both skiing and snowboarding, and then maybe throw on telemark or go cross country skiing. There's something that'd be interesting. Could you do that?
Totally. And we've seen people do telemarketing with it. Like we tried it on the bindings.
Okay.
And shit, she works. I was like, great. Basically, but like we're not looking as some people, like as you say, the haters. Oh, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. We're not looking for a replacement. We're looking for an alternative. It's an option. It's just throwing options out there.
Oh yeah. And that's the best part about it, man. It's not like you're not trying to say we're best, do us, we're replacing everything. You just got something different, because different what's the old saying? Variety is the spice of life, or something like this. What is that?
To that effect. Yeah. I think it was that.
And man, like just to be different for a day, that is fantastic, dude. It's awesome. Now I'm going to double back a little bit here. I apologize to anybody who's not used to me doing that yet. We talked about adaptive sports. Now I work a lot with the New England Healing Sports Association down there at Sunapee, New Hampshire. Shout out to Nessa and Carly, who runs the place, and everybody else down there. A lot of fun. Now what? Like you touched on it, but like what specific feedback have you gotten in like the adaptive area? Like who's using it? How has it worked? Have you heard about it from either just people who use it or like instructors, that kind of thing?
So it wasn't any instructors that reached out. The two that I can think of at the top of my head right now, we had one probably, as I said, this season, because we've only been alive for this one season.
Totally.
It was probably mid-season, and we got a reach out from a grandmother who wanted to give her granddaughter a birthday gift. Sure. And the granddaughter, she had autism. She was on the spectrum for autism. And she found wearing ski boots very uncomfortable and obviously wasn't enjoyable. But she really liked the idea of going down. Like she's obviously been down the ski hill and she has a great time. And so her grandmother obviously got her set for that, and we accommodated for that, and we got some feedback from her saying that she just had, like, she's never seen such a big smile on her face. She just absolutely was loving life. And that's the kind of thing we want to go for. Like we never made this as an expensive item. We're not looking, we've hit the next big thing. Let's be millionaires kind of thing, right? It's just, to see something like that people can enjoy. And once again, not a replacement, just an option. to get out on the hill and enjoy what we have out there. Like, I mean, up in Canada, we got 6 to 9 months of snow. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
if you're not doing anything out there with it, you're not going to be having a good time
Yeah.
or
No
good
doubt
life,
at all.
really. Yeah, so that was one example of that. But the second one, we had some guy, I think, some kind of operation on his leg, which kind of, whether the operation didn't go too well or there was something happened, but his one foot was more angled in than the other foot.
Okay.
So
Sure.
if you're doing that with skis, like, you're fixed. You're going straight with the ski, like, you cannot do. And with the snowboarding, however, like, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of finesse. Obviously, you're going to have to
Sure.
understand that you are your foot. And yeah, because we can do the full 90-degree turn with a snowboard binding, because you're
Yeah. Yeah.
going on
Yeah.
that plate. It's like that helped him. He was able to go down the hill without any problems,
Excellent.
because we accommodated as much as we can with it. And like, that's what Jerry does. It just includes everybody, and regardless of your skill level, age.
Hmm.
I'm trying to get my little kid on it. She was 9, and yeah, look, it just gives everyone an opportunity to have fun.
That's amazing. And that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Now, when people think of adaptive sports, especially in snowboards, I think the initial idea is physical.
Mm.
Whether it be amputee or paralyzed, a person who's paralyzed by quadriplegics too, whatever it
Mm.
is. Don't think of the more mental side of adaptive sports. So if someone is diagnosed on the autism spectrum, there can be a issues with touching and tactile and the way things fit. That is something I hadn't even considered that either. Like, yeah, being strapped into a ski boot can't be great for some people, which is a big theme in this, as you said. That's fantastic. So shout out again to my friends at New England Healing Sports Association. If any of you are listening, give Devon a shout if you want to try this out. Like, if you could see that working for you. And yeah, having a pair of Jerry feet sitting right next to a sit ski and some of their other equipment, ski bikes and that kind of thing. It's really kind of awesome. It's amazing to watch. As I watch the video, it's like people just, again, I'm sure the technique is a little different, obviously, because it's going to feel different. It's going to feel different, but it seems like it's the same muscle memory. People are just get on it and go. Again, a little different, but not. That's you and the neon thing, isn't it? There, the neon one, because that's
That is
awesome.
too, yes.
That's amazing. Every time I seen it up, and I couldn't let it go again. That's amazing. That's friggin' awesome, dude. I love that. I got to get me some gear like that, man. I always feel
I mean,
left
that's what
out.
it's about. That's why we kind of went with the whole Jerry thing, and the theme at the end of most of our clips that we put on social media is just have fun with it.
Yeah, and then let's do that then, man. Jerry feet. Now, Jerry for many years was and still is a derogatory term.
Sure.
But there are those of us who embrace it. Like, people are like, dude, look at Jerry over there riding with his jeans. I'm like, I'm going to be doing that next week. What are you talking about? I love that guy. Like, I feel like Jinko jeans, the big wide legged ones, were built for
I
snow
know. I'm
sports.
picturing that. Yeah.
Oh, they're built for it. They fit right over your boot, man. It's beautiful. Comfy as hell, too. And they used to be really well made. I don't know if they still are, but I have a pair that's almost 30 years old, and they have one tear in them, and that's it. Well, good company, Jinko. Good company, Jinko, man.
Shout out for them.
Absolutely. So you embrace the idea of Jerry. Like, how did you get there first? Like, yes, this is different. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. I mean, that was it. Like, it was actually, it all started. So another friend of mine, were on a ski hill. I mean, this is going to be long-winded stories, man. I hope you don't want to get to the point straight away.
Go nuts, man. Go nuts.
It happened like pretty much a week before I got approached with this so-called project of mine. So another friend of mine, we were on the ski hill, and we were hitting out of bounds quite a bit. It was somewhat pre-season. And we're going behind the row, which I don't recommend. Kids don't do that at home either.
Don't do that.
But, you know, sometimes you got to do that, right? So we're heading out of bounds, and we got Ski Patrol obviously saw this, and it was kind of close to a chairlift. So we saw that Ski Patrol was kind of blocking off the area.
Sure.
And then before you know it, they were hitting it too. Like the ski patrol was just setting those runs, and now they could
Hmm.
say they were checking it for safety and if it's ready to be open. But
Oh
we all
yeah.
know they wanted to get those lines. So then we're like, oh, look at those guys. Obviously, we won't use the terms that we were using at the time. And I think my friend mentioned the other guy said, I bet his name is Jerry. And
Okay.
to be honest, before that, I still haven't heard the term Jerry. I don't know what Jerry was. And I was like,
Okay.
yeah, there's Jerry. So when we saw more people on like out of bounds and like, closed off ski areas, saw some fresh tracks. I was like, oh, there's Jerry right at it again, doing Jerry things.
That's
So anyway,
awesome.
I digress. I move forward. I do this project. And then we're thinking about, I mentioned, because he did the social media and as I said, went viral. I was like, oh, what can
Hmm.
we call it? And then he says, Jerry feet. And I said, how do you know? This was another friend, by the way. How do you know about
Okay.
Jerry? And so, what do you know about Jerry? So I was telling him the story that me and my other friend Lawrence were calling a Jerry. And he said, no, Jerry is a term. And he explained to me what Jerry is. And then
Sure.
he put me onto Jerry the other day
Hmm.
about someone who does something different,
Hmm.
something that isn't really, I wouldn't say frowned upon, but unique, going against the
Sure.
rules, going against the grain. And essentially that's what this is. And I thought the name just stuck with us. Like, that's a perfect name. It's different.
That's
It's going
amazing.
against the grain. And then we just ran
Yeah.
with it.
Dude, see, so bottom line, what Devon just proved is Jerry is universal. It just had to happen. Like, if didn't never heard the term before, only to basically start the term all over again. Wonderful. Beautiful.
It
I
was a
love
good time.
Jerry. Jerry's amazing. So it goes viral. We get to the name. The name is awesome. I'm sure that's going to help people get it because we all know who Jerry is and what Jerry does. But here's the thing, man. To go with the viral and the market for it, I just clicked over to skiboards.com. Sold out. Sold out. I did not check the Japanese link, so shout out to our brothers and sisters in Japan. And the Canadian links, I think it was still good to go. For a first year, man, are you able to keep up with the orders? If your suppliers are running out, like it can't be easy.
To be honest, it was a wake up call in the beginning because
Okay,
once our ski boards team jumped on board, they were moving the product really well because they were packaging it up with their setup, and they did a good job with it. I mean, their marketing team, Cam and his team, as I said, love them. They're doing really well, and same
sure.
with our Japanese boys. Um, yeah, they were pushing them out there, and we were struggling in the beginning, but we nailed down our processes, and we do everything in house. Like this is
Okay.
made in my facility in Calgary, in Canada. So
Oh,
keeping it
nice.
local, we're not trying to get things outsourced because, I mean, then you're chasing the bottom dollar. Like we're keeping costs low, um, keeping the work, as I say, within our backyard,
Sure.
and it just gives us a level of control. And we want to know where these go to. Like we keep in contact with a lot of our customers, and they would request, I mean, obviously reorders, and they would request, oh, can we get some Jerry Feet stickers? We want to put them up on our local ski hill. Like, of course, just
Totally,
that
dude.
small community, and like we're happy to be proud of it, be part of that.
That's so awesome, dude. What a great story just from the fun of it, number one.
There
And
you
the
go.
number because it is a fun story. From the name with Jerry to someone saying to their engineer friend, dude, do you think you can make this? Like, yeah, it's kind of his job. It's kind of your job is to be able to make it.
True.
Which, and shout out to all the engineers of the world, man. Total respect for what you do and what you can do. I've always said some of the most dangerous people in the world are engineers and other fabricators who have nothing to do on a weekend. Who knows what's coming out
This
of the
is true. I
garage?
can relate to that. Yeah.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear, man. That's where you see all the crazy stuff happening, which is fine. It's fantastic. It's awesome. And again, jerryfeet.com will get you all the links depending on your area. And we have here in the US skiboards.com. Again, shout out to those guys. That's where I got mine many years ago, and we'll probably be returning for a new pair. The ski board shop out in somewhere in Japan. I pardon me, my geography knowledge is shot out. It's been a while since I've been in school. I do where Japan is, but the towns and everything, don't ask. And then, of
Yeah, it's a
course,
small little town out there.
absolutely. And then lastly, for worldwide orders and Canadian orders, Jerry Feet direct from Calgary. That I do know where it is, though I've never been, man. And of course, you can go to Instagram, Facebook. It looks like YouTube and TikTok. That'll get you Jerry Feet. I found you guys on Instagram, so shout out to social media. That's awesome.
It's the marketing tool of the future, and I mean, this is where kids go to play these days.
It is, and that's why I use it. Plus, I'm a narcissist, so whatever. And you know, it's wonderful, and you can get to the shop, and you can also go check out all the photos and everything of people using it. And that's again, I touched on that for a second. It's ease of use now, and that actually, I was really stalling because I forgot what I was going to say, but now I remember. The ease of use now, if for anybody who's tried ski boards and skiing, and for those who've tried ski boards first, ski boarding versus skiing itself, the techniques are similar, different, and ski boarding actually is easier to pick up. I assume it's because of the lack of material. You know, you're not on something that's 170 centimeters tall. You're down to like mine are 88s. That's what mine are.
Nice.
So
shorties.
Yeah, mine are short. And so it's a little different, but the turning, you can't carve as hard necessarily, but your turns are quicker and easier. It's just a fact because you have less to throw around.
I totally felt the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, it's just great to see that you can put something out that people can use right away if they already do it. No need to learn. We, as, you know, snow sports enthusiasts, we have to put the time in. I've agreed with people who have said one of the reasons snow sports aren't as popular as it appears is because of the learning curve. It's not like picking up a basketball. It's not like picking up a soccer ball. It's not like picking up, you know, a football, even like tennis, which has a learning curve, but is still not skiing. Skiing's completely unnatural. There's no reason for humans to do it. There's no other animal on earth that does it. Like,
why the hell are we doing this?
Why are we doing it? Because it's awesome. But you have a unique product, but you don't have to relearn anything. It's still easy to do if you already know how to do it. And because of the entry level of or how ski boards are good for entry level, it's still easy. That's a beautiful thing. And I was that on purpose too, or did that just happen?
I think that just happened. I think it naturally just flowed into that because of, as you say, it's simple, it's easy. And I believe with the ski board community, I mean, they had a solution. They were riding with the soft boot, but hard mount. And they just wanted to give the variety and the option, once again, another option to be able to have a release. Mm-hmm. For some people questioning. Now, there's a couple of similar products out there, I mean, which we fully on board with. I think, you know, we've got Apex, we've got Magix, Envy, and all them.
Sure.
And they're doing a good job out there, and, you know, happy to be in the same space as them. Ours was more focused towards you don't have to sacrifice anything. We're not getting rid of other things. We're just adding something to the gear you already have.
Yeah.
To be universal. Like they were quite locked in, like you're using a specific boot or specific binding. Mm-hmm. You know, but ours was just like whatever you got will work.
I say, yeah, the simplest answer. And
exactly.
Because you're right. I've seen people ride ski boards with snowboard boots, but it's usually some kind of home built contraption that's just asking to break an ankle. That's fine.
That's right.
You know, and there are, again, like you said, similar things out there, but the simplicity of this, where you just strap it on and then just like any other skier, step in and then step out. It's that easy. And the beautiful part is there's another part of the demo reel where someone's just walking around on them. Like
once again, that would be me. Yeah. I mean, we don't recommend walking around in the Jerry adapter, the SBA itself, because it's still a piece of aluminum. We got some attachment to them that gives you a sole
Hmm.
Sure, but it's still kind of stuff because it's aluminum thick plate, right?
Sure.
What we would normally, so you can do it if you chose to, but what we kind of recommend is just unstrap like you would snowboard binding, so you can walk around in your boot directly onto your boot, which is way more
Oh,
comfortable.
and
Yeah,
even better, you have a choice. And that's, again,
there you
it's
go,
beautiful.
another choice.
Do what you want to do and do it well. Dude, it's a great
Yeah,
product. I'm actually excited. I want to
thanks,
try
man.
it. I do want to
I
try
can't
it.
wait to get you a set. Yeah, yeah,
I'm excited. I mean, luckily we have some time, which is
right.
great. But man, because I don't wear snowboard boots often because I snowboard like shit. I can't do it. And I've
Sure.
tried it many times, and you know what? I'm going to get back on it this year. Cross country world and snowboarding. I'm going to try them both. I've done them
Nice.
both before. I'm not good at either. But,
It's
and I've been
probably
sick.
better than my skiing, I tell you that.
That's fine. But hey, I don't judge, man. If you're good, great. If you're not good, great. I don't care. As long as you're playing safe and having fun.
There you go. That's what it is. That's Jerry.
That's Jerry, man. And I think I can have a lot of fun with these. In fact, it's kind of interesting. So since it is so ski boot now, you have release bindings. Have you tied them with non-release bindings?
So we haven't done it with non-release because of the fact that why not just put a spacer and go direct?
Okay.
But are you talking about the hard mount or the as we spoke about earlier? I've never tried those non-release bindings. I
Mine
can't
are
say
a
that I
hard
have.
mount. Yeah,
Okay,
mine are a hard mount. The pair I have on my ski boards, I have standard look bindings on my skis, so
right. Okay.
look
No,
brand.
we haven't tried it with the other ones. We just tried it with like telemarketers to see how they work and if they have enough clearance.
Yeah,
Um,
interesting.
yeah, ski boards,
Yeah,
blades.
I'm
And the thing is,
curious.
what we went with why it kind of works better than like on blades and ski boards and that because they're so narrow. The binding is quite narrow.
Sure.
It's no wider than the ski boot. Like you
Hmm.
find a snowboard binding, they quite wide because the boot's quite wide.
Sure.
So they could drag if you're trying to do a hard carve,
Hmm.
but the height gives us that advantage, so you can still have that lean
Hmm.
into a carve and not drag over. Now, saying
Okay.
that, we have tested it out with some hardcore downhill skiers, and they were able to
Sure.
drag on the side for sure. Their binding was a little bit wider, but you really got to be pushing pretty hard to get it down that
Okay.
far.
Interesting. Dude, that's so cool. Yeah, I just noticed it. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I have a photo up of like a close up, and man, they do look great. Actually, it's fantastic. I love things that are different, and these are cool. And I would like to try it. And I definitely have. But so here's something. I don't know why this popped into my head. I'm sure you haven't seen it yet. This would be the ultimate Jerry feet Super Jerry test. It'd be
Right.
fantastic. The world of grass skiing, not
Cross
ski,
ski.
not using your skis on grass, your typical grass, but actual grass skis, the ones that are basically tank tracks. These are
Right.
FIS things. Not everybody knows what they are, and not super big here in the US or in North America as a whole. It's more European, but could you imagine? Because the binding is
Imagine
the
that.
same. The binding's the
Totally.
same. All right. So anybody out
That's another
there,
market. Yeah, for sure. I'd love someone to try it. Who's ever doing that out there, hit us up. We want to work with you on that. I'd love to see, but at the end of the day, all we want is footage. We want to see people try these new cool ways to do things with us.
awesome, dude. Grass skiers of the world unite. And now you get, because there is no grass snowboard. I mean, okay, if you want to take your regular snowboard out on grass, that's fine. Do your thing. I personally am not fond of it, because it just feels different to ski on grass. And yes, I have done it.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, well, you're kind of, it's late season. You hit that, one bare spot and you're on it. It's not for me, but
Fair.
those fools out there who are riding those, and I mean fool in a good way, slang term, not calling you really foolish. Pardon my slang. But, if you got the roller style grass ski, which also is FIS sanctioned, there are FIS World Cup events for this. I think they're World Cup. They might not be. They might be a different level, but they are FIS. So there you go. Awesome, dude. These things are
Man.
great. So any information I missed, we got out the website. I think so jerryfeet.com. That's what I'm looking at, so I know I got it right. Facebook, Jerry Feet, Instagram, Jerry Feet, YouTube, the same, TikTok, the same, correct?
That's pretty much it. I think you hit it there, man. It's just like give us a shout out, put a like out there, share it with your friends. And
man.
Hey, man, if you out there trying something different, as I said before, like as Tim mentioned, grass skiing, I'd love to see a pair of Jerry's on that. Just hit us up, man. We'll work with you on this.
That's awesome. Jerry Feet is going to take over the world. Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew?
Everybody's going to have them. You're going to see them in rental shops one day and on demo days. Well, actually, before we go, do you think you're going to ever do that, like a demo tour?
A demo day? Yeah. So we have a couple of close friends on some ski hills. I mean, good thing about living in the Rockies or so close to the Rockies, we have a lot of options for ski hills. We're working with a crowd out in Castle Mountain, so big shout out to them if they're listening. There was talk about potentially doing something there, like a demo day out there. So
Sure.
If we get a bunch of people out there, we work with the rental company there, with the rental skis, and say, okay, listen, we'll fit them. If any damages occur from whatever should happen, obviously we'll help with that. Just to get the name out there. I mean, that's a fun hill. I mean, those guys out there who normally hit that are looking for a good time. So yeah, we'll hit up one at a time, and eventually, who knows what the future might hold for us. We might be out there in different hills, just hitting it big.
Very good. So yeah, stay tuned to Jerry Feet. You never know where they might show up. To that point, it's also, as we get through, the reason I think about this is because I've just started this year's communications and contracting with the folks at Raccoon Media for the Snowbound Expo in Boston in November. There's also Snowvana in Portland in November. There's Outdoor Retailer. There's all the other trade shows and expos. Do you think you're going to go that way, or are you going to just stick where you're at?
I mean, saying that, we were going to start off with the one. Calgary's got their one, which I think they claim to be one of the bigger ones, so to say, in Canada. We have one out in the beginning of this season. So we're going to start with that, see how our first trade show goes.
Cool.
And yeah, I mean, you might see us at one of those big ones one day.
Hey,
hopefully.
A lot of fun, those shows, man.
Yeah, we just want to get the word out. We want the term Jerry to just be, not, as you mentioned, a derogatory term. A name that, like someone be proud to be. And I'm proud to be Jerry, man. Actually, Absolutely. If you see my skiing ability, you'll probably see that's why.
Awesome.
I'm a snowboarder, man. That's
100% respect it and love it. I embrace the Jerry. I embrace the Biff, as I like to say. Awesome, dude. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast, man. That was fun.
Man, thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
Totally, dude. And I'm excited to do this. We'll talk about that here. I'm going to go talk to Devon for a few minutes about that, and then I'll come back to close out the program. Devon, sir, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
And there he goes, my friends. Devon Todd. A lot of fun. Great episode, man. This product is amazing because they do, they show off the Jerry Feet on ski boards. I'm going to have to get a set, find me a pair of snowboard boots, and put them on my ski boards just to see how well it works. I'm curious. And you know what? I'll step into my actual skis too, just to give it a swing, just to try it out. You know me, man. I want to see things that are different. I like things that are different and unique, and as an extension of that, weird and bizarre. I actually was trying to get one more product that you really wouldn't see, that some people might think is weird and bizarre. The One Ski, I'm trying to get a hold of them. I met up with one of their people at Waterville by chance, talked to him. I think it might have even been the creator of the One Ski, and I didn't think to leave him a card, stickers, make an appointment, anything there. So I don't know if I'm going to get that done for this season, but that may show up next season. You never know. But that's beside the point. We were talking Jerry Feet. Jerry Feet are awesome. If you would like more information, as we said, jerryfeet.com. Link is in the description. Very easy to find, very easy to remember. Also, they are on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, and you could check them out there, follow them, be part of the Jerry crew, embrace your Jerryness. Like I say, embrace the Biff, embrace the Jerryness. Thank you for listening to the Ski Rex Media Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this one. And I hope you enjoy the remainder of season 5 before we get here into the summer and come back for season 6. Next season starting in the fall, September or October. There will be a definite starting date, a debut date, a season premiere date when I have it. And you'll know all about that by following Ski Rex Media on social media, signing up for the newsletter at skirexmedia.com. And any other way I can get the information out. You know me, I show up on other people's podcasts. I'll be at Snowbound again this year. You never know where I might show up. And you never know where Ski Rex Media stickers or Ski Rex Media High Vis or Ski Rex Media anything will show up. Keep an eye out, man. People are seeing the stuff, and I would love to see more of it. So if you do run into me or anyone else, take a picture or talk to me. I don't mind. Especially if I'm not doing anything. I'll talk to you. Derek, one of the Ski Rex Media fans, ran into me at Snowbound last year, and we talked for a little bit. It was awesome. I love fan interaction, right? Right. Thank you again for listening to the Ski Rex Media podcast. Please continue through the rest of this season, and then hold tight for next season. Listen to old episodes. There's 5 whole seasons that you may have missed that you can listen to, catch up during the summer, and I will see you on the next one before I will see you in the fall. Later.